Welcome to 3 Steps. This is the first part of a 3-part interview with TJ Guttormsen. He's a successful life coach for the last 10 years, and he's originally from Norway, and he moved here and now he's in Vegas, where I'm at. He's also married to a very beautiful woman. And in this one, we got into conversations about what it means to be a man. And that conversation actually led to core values. And when he was figuring out his core values, one of the first questions was, can I have my own? Like, can I have my own core values? Because the reality is, you're given your values by your family, right? And then he explored that. But that led to him to thinking about his own identity. And because he was thinking about his own identity, he came to a really interesting conclusion that labels hold you back and that identity holds you back. So basically, identity is overrated. So then we ask him about being an adult, and he gives one of the just perfect answers. I'm not an adult, but I can adult. So he gives us his definition of what adult means. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to 3 Steps, and this is?
I'm TJ. Nice to meet you guys.
And I've known TJ for something like 10 years now.
Something like that.
Yeah. And met him through Johnny Sporno, and he was one of the coaches there at the first big workshop Johnny throws every year in January. And he was one of the coaches that I immediately resonated with. It's like, he's not hyping you on bullshit. He's not repeating himself 100 times and telling you nothing. You know, and that's a lot of that coach thing that upsets me. But TJ is he's a guy who's done the groundwork. He's done the ground pounding. He's done all the and he's so fucking analytical that you get real concise. Your brain is so analytical. You get real, like, I'm going to do it like this. Anyways, so TJ to me is a successful life coach. He's also Norwegian, and he's married to a gorgeous lady, and he is living a very, very good life. And dual citizenship, blah blah blah. Like, pretty badass man. So I've done the setup. Let's let him introduce himself.
So, my real name is actually TJ Guttormsen, but I'm not going to make you guys say that because you're not going to be able to probably. TJ Guttormsen is what you'll find me as online and stuff. I've, like John said, I'm born and raised in Norway. I lived there until a couple of years ago, really. I've traveled a lot in my life, but Norway's been my home. That's where I was raised. That's where I started my career. That's where I've done everything.
What does it mean to be a man?
Okay, so to me, being a man, is taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. Now, that doesn't mean that you're, jumping when anyone else needs something to care of. It doesn't mean that you're a servant to anyone except maybe yourself. It means that when you see something that you go, that shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
You go fix it. Or you find someone who can fix it. Or you get the help that you need to fix it. And it could be the smaller things, like just around the house, you see something, this isn't proper. If you just keep ignoring it, to me, you're not taking care of your space, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking care of your people, whoever they might be. Now, it's not my job to take care of others, but I'm a caretaker by nature. I like taking care of the people I love, and I think it's imperative that I take care of myself and the things that are important to me. Because I found that every time in my life when I don't, everything goes to shit.
Right.
If I let things slide for too long, whether it's keeping a clean space, and I'm not a clean freak, but clean enough space or any of that, I get into this rut and nothing becomes important. I start letting the important things slide too. So for me, the man that I see myself as is a man who takes care of shit when shit needs to be taken care of. Even if I don't want to because it's boring or it's annoying or it's intimidating or whatever it is, I look at it, if I can say to myself, I don't like that thing like that, okay, then step up and take care of it. Don't wait for others. Don't hope someone's going to fix it. Don't ignore it. Because you're leaving a mess, and you know that you're leaving a mess. You're looking at an issue or a problem, and you're basically telling yourself, I'm not man enough to fix it, I'm going to leave it. Yeah. Or I'm not man enough to take responsibility for it, I'm going to ignore it.
Right.
And so being a man to me is looking at what's important to you, your values, your surroundings, your people, whatever it is, knowing what you want that to look like, and making every effort to make it look like that.
Did you ever have a moment growing up where you constructed in your head the idea of what kind of man you're going to grow up to be?
Oh yeah, probably a couple of them, to be honest. Because
Did you grow into them? Was the other question.
yeah. So the interesting thing, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a teacher or an author, which is basically what I am today. I teach, I coach, and I've written several books and I've published books. So, but it's not I thought it was going to be my hometown at a school somewhere, publishing fictional books. But I'm a coach. I work on life skills, and I publish nonfiction books. So I've very much grown into the ideas that I had as a child, but in very different ways. And so my example of manhood was my dad. Mm-hmm. And I love my dad, and he's a wonderful guy, and he takes care of shit. Like, if something needs to be done, he takes care of it. Now, his stress level is slightly higher than mine when he does. You ask him where your sunglasses is, he's going to turn the house upside down, but he's finding those glasses for you. That's what he's doing. Yeah. And so looking back at it, and I've thought of it several times, I'm like, yes, he was my role model. I looked at him for many things, not all things, but for many things, and I knew what I wanted, what kind of life I wanted to have. But it turns out that the applications for those things were completely different than I thought. It's not, I'm not a teacher taking care of kids. I'm a coach taking care of humans in general, adults mostly. Yeah. I'm not teaching, knowledge. I'm teaching life skills. I'm not, showing people how to write. I'm showing people how to live. Mm. And so I'm doing these things, and my idea of being a man is the one that takes care of his people. And my dad always did that. Yeah. And so, yeah, I very much turned out, it's funny because as a child I would never picture this life for myself. Right. But when I look at what I wanted to be as a child, all those elements are in my life today, just in a very different area.
Fantastic, man. That's excellent. Did you ever have the I'm a man moment?
Yeah, though, the best I can think of it, my I am a man moment is, oh shit, I've been that for a while. And I didn't realize. Yeah. And it was a conversation with a friend, actually, that kind of spurred it, because we were talking about this, and I was being and this is, I don't know, it's many years ago, but I was being my typical self. No, I'm still just a kid, but I was taking it further. Like, I didn't feel like a man. I didn't feel like I could adult. I was still just winging it, improvising. But I started thinking about it, and I asked myself the same question that you asked me, like, what does it mean to be a man to me? Yeah. And I realized, well, all those things that I kept coming up with, all those criteria, I was checking off. Like, I'm doing all these things. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. So this is what it is to be a man. That's not what I expected. I expected when I was a man, I would probably be either, a boring grown-up, or I'd be in complete control of everything, or I'd be, No.
Have all the answers.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so it's hard to pinpoint when it happened. Mm-hmm. But I can pinpoint when I realized that it's been going on for a while, which was really interesting, because that was the first time I looked at my identity and went, oh, my identity doesn't always serve me. I thought I wasn't one, and I was holding on to that, and I wasn't actually paying attention to what I was doing in my life. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that part of my identity of I'm not a man just isn't right, and it's probably been holding me back for a while, so let go of that.
How did you, as a man growing up, learn your values? Or you ticked off a few things there, mm-hmm. So it's like, obviously those are important to know. Obviously they made it so the construct of your world operates smoothly. What was your path? How'd you get to there?
Yeah. So that's interesting, because for most of my life, my values were what I was told they should be. Mm-hmm. I, again, grew up in a safe, comfortable, traditional household. My parents are open-minded and all, but their values are traditional. They're fairly conservative. And I was basically just looking to people around me to see what was okay, what was not, what were the morals of the society around me, and I took that on as my values. Mm. And a lot of these things weren't correct. I mean, like when I even started my self-development journey, I got into the seduction community and all that. The values were, you got to be the alpha. I'm not that guy. I'm the relaxed, let's have fun together. I'm not the you listen to me.
Do what I say.
Right.
Blah,
and
blah,
so,
blah.
But I kept taking on these values even then for a while, and so for most of my life, I didn't have my values. I had the values that other people insisted upon me, and I accepted them. And then I got to the point where I realized, my values don't have to match the people around me. I can have my own values. I can live by them. All I need to know is that these values that I'm recognizing or choosing are values that I can stand for. Mm-hmm. If anyone ever calls me out on it, I should be able to, without breaking a sweat or without breaking eye contact, say, well, this is why I think like this. Yeah. And so I've been challenged on a lot of them, like polyamory. Like I'm not a monogamous person. There are plenty of people who have had an issue with that in my life.
Yeah.
Well, you have a girlfriend, you have this, and you're still seeing others. That's wrong. And they come up with this thing, and to me as well, these...
They impose their morals on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my ethics don't have to match your morals. I don't have to live by your values.
Yeah.
I just have to know what mine are. So the question of how I came to my values, well, a lot of self-analyzing, getting to know myself. And by that, I don't mean finding myself, I mean creating myself. Mm-hmm. Looking at who am I, who do I want to be, and what makes sense to me. I'm a caretaker, I take care of people, but only if they deserve it. Yeah. I'm happy to walk by someone who needs my help if they're not the kind of person that deserves it. And who decides that? Well, I do. I know when I see a situation, I know when I get to know a person, if these people are someone I will break my neck reaching out to help, or someone, if they call on me to help them move, I'm going to go, sorry, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I don't need to explain it, I don't need to defend it to other people. I know me because I've chosen who I want to be and what kind of choices I want to make in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually very, very clear. When did you notice that there was such a thing as identity?
Oh, I think very early for me, because I'm, like you said earlier, I'm an analytical guy. I like to analyze everything.
You?
Yeah, strange that, huh? And so I analyze myself more than anything else. And so from as long as I can remember, I've always been able to, this is me, and give you a blow by blow, if it were. And for a long, long time, I kept doing it over and over, and I kept putting these labels on myself. Yeah. Because it was comfortable. Yeah. And I could say, I could describe myself to you in 10 seconds, and you would know exactly who I was, except you wouldn't. Yeah. You would know who I thought I was, who I kept saying I was, and in most cases it was holding me back. So I moved on to my philosophy now is identity is kind of overrated. I try to use as few labels as possible with my clients or friends or whoever wants to listen to me talk about it. I tell them, go through your identity, describe yourself to yourself, and then let go of anything that isn't going to kill you to let go of. Because it's one of those, if I keep saying that I'm lazy, then I'm pigeonholing myself to that. Yeah. And whenever something comes up that would mean that I'm not lazy if I do it, I'm going to have resistance to it. At least if I think about my identity and that thing. So I don't like labels. I definitely don't like absolute labels. And if you're going to use labels, then please define them for yourself. Yeah. So I actually do describe myself as lazy. Yeah. But my definition of lazy is completely different than most people. My definition of lazy is I find the easiest way to get the best result. Yeah. I will not settle for anything less than the best results. If I have to work my ass off, I'm going to do that. But if I don't have to work my ass off, I'm going to figure out how to not work my ass off and still get that same result. Yeah. So that's my definition of lazy. It doesn't mean I don't want to do things. It just means I don't want to do unnecessary things to get to where I want to be. Right. So as an example. So yeah, identity, I've had a strong one for most of my life until, I don't know, the last decade or so, where I went, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna be who I am. Yeah. I'm gonna do the things that make sense to me. I'm gonna choose in the moment based on what makes sense to me in the moment, not based on some label I gave myself when I was 14. Right.
Did you ever have that I'm an adult now moment, or I'm a man moment?
Well, I'm one of those people that, I'm 36 going on 37 soon, and I'm still like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in life. Like, wait, I don't know what I'm going to be when I grow up. Right. So part of me is still like, no, I'm not an adult, but I can adult. So to me, it's not description, it's a verb. Ah, okay. So
define this verb of yours, adult.
so I can adult because I can take care of things. I've never basically been late on a bill. Like I can take care of the things that adults need to take care of. Right. But I'm not, and I know we've discussed this before, there's a big difference between an adult and a grown-up. Yeah. I'm not a grown-up. I don't feel like an adult because in my mind still, adults know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing for work. I know what I'm doing for adventure, my relationships, but if I had to get a mortgage or something, I'd be scared out of my mind. 'Cause that's adult things for me. I know how to adult with all the things I need to do in my life. Right. And I will adult every day, but for as short a time as I need to. Right. I want to get that out of the way so that I can go be playful and have fun and enjoy my life. Right. So it's semantics, but in my mind, adults are the people that adult throughout the day, and then they adult throughout their life. I adult for parts of it when I have to, and then I move on and I go back to being whatever it is I am.
That is a brilliant tool. That's an excellent skill set. That's awesome, man. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell for reminders, and leave a comment down below. And by all means, join us in the Facebook group and get involved with the conversation. All right, I'll see you on Wednesday.